Hey friends, welcome back to another video. Just recently, I released a video all about my experience with red light therapy and shared with you all the benefits that I have seen personally from including red light therapy in my life over the last little over 2 months. If you haven't seen that video, I definitely recommend checking it out first. I had a couple of requests to go over my exact red light therapy routine. I kind of gave a really brief rundown in the video, but this video is going to be a little more in depth, just showing you, all the things that I do. I do want to say that I don't think that this is like the perfect routine or the routine that everyone should do. It's just what happened to make sense for me, what works for me in my life. And so I'm just sharing what I'm doing, not recommending that anyone follow it exactly. And there's probably ways that I could make it better, maybe some things that I don't need, maybe some things that I could add that would, enhance it. But for right now, this is what my red light therapy routine looks like. So red light therapy actually feels really, really good. If you have a device that has the right amount of power, it should feel like the sun on your face, the sun on your body. It's warm. It's not hot. It's not going to burn you because it doesn't have the UV light in there, but it should feel warm, and it actually feels really, really amazing. There are so many health practices that are no fun. Eating liver, cold plunges, crazy workouts where it's just like, do I really have to do this to be healthy? So when something comes along that actually is super, super enjoyable, that makes me so happy. Also, it definitely makes it a lot easier to continue to do and make it like an everyday practice rather than something where you're like, I'll make an excuse to skip it. Because of the incredible health benefits I have seen from it, and because it just feels so good, it's both relaxing and invigorating, kind of like when you're, sunbathing. It's relaxing, but then it gives you a certain kind of energy, I guess, throughout the day. So there's kind of a nice balance. Definitely not like a caffeine jittery energy. I feel like it turns my brain on, so it gives my brain energy, if that makes sense. Like I'm more motivated to do stuff. I don't feel like I'm running on caffeine or like some kind of a stimulant. It's more like my brain is working and like ready for whatever gets thrown at it. So anyways, it's relaxing and stimulating at the same time. So I like to do my red light therapy session in the morning. I think that makes sense right around sunrise. You want to be getting the bright light and the red and near infrared light in your eyes and on your body at that time of the day. I do sometimes have red lights on in the house in the evening, but it's more like a bulb that's kind of far away and a lot dimmer. The panel that I have is pretty high power and it's very, very bright. And so it's not that you don't want red light in the evening. Red light in the evening is fine, but you just don't want as bright of a light in your eyes at that time. You want it to be kind of darker as you're preparing for bed. So red light therapy in the morning makes a lot of sense for me. And I like to do around 20 to 30 minutes. Sometimes I get busy listening to something, or, I'm just enjoying it so much that I keep going for a full 30 minutes. I do it every single day. There was one day where we were busy with something and I ended up just doing 5 minutes sitting in front of the red light, and I was fully clothed at the time. And after that, the next day, I noticed a dip in my HRV and I was like, we can't have this. And so from then on, I've just done my 20 to 30 minutes every single day. And I don't want to miss it because of how good it makes me feel. So I haven't played with the amount of time a whole lot. A lot of people say 20 to 30 minutes per day is kind of the max. More is not always better. There's kind of a sweet spot. And I hear that 20 to 30 minutes per day is a pretty good maximum. So as far as how my morning looks, these days I am getting up at around 5:30 a.m. And I do actually attribute that early rising to doing the red light therapy about, 2 to 4 weeks into my red light therapy routine. I found that I was waking up a lot earlier, full of energy, ready for the day. So before I was waking up at around 7:30 a.m. and I found that I started waking up at 5 or 5:30 a.m. And I actually really love it. I wake up at 5:30-ish a.m. I do a workout around 6, and then, I kind of relax. I eat if I'm hungry at that point. Sometimes I'll have a snack first thing in the morning before my workout. I try to do that, but I struggle with it. So sometimes I don't. And then I'll have like my breakfast or a snack. And then I will go into my red light therapy routine for the morning. And, you know, all in all, with the red light therapy routine and taking my shower, it takes me about 45 minutes or so. So the kids know that, you know, that's my time, and I do all of my routine in the morning, and then I'm ready for the day to take care of everything else that they need in their lives. So at around 7 to 7:30 a.m., I will come and start my red light. So this over here next to my bed is my red light therapy booth. And yes, I do have my silver play button sitting up here. This is where I keep it. It would make more sense to have it in a place where I normally film. I just never have gotten my act together enough to get it set up there. So this is where it sits. I get to look at it while I do red light therapy. So I have the Inferno panel from EMR Tech, and this is one you can hang it up, like put it on, you know, the back of a door or something. But I like it here just on the floor, leaned up against my bookshelf, and you turn it on over here. You turn on the switch, and then you can turn on the LEDs, and that's just the little ones. And you'll notice that some of them don't look like they're on, but those are the near infrared light bulbs, and that's light that you cannot see with your eye. So it is on, you just can't see it, but it's, you know, every other one is the red light, every other one is the near infrared light. And then also I can turn on the big cobs, and that's these giant ones, and that just really kicks up the brightness and the power, and you know, you can just feel the heat radiating. So of course, red light therapy is the best if you can expose as much skin as possible. So I do typically do it without clothes. We'll not be showing that today because we're not that kind of YouTube channel. But the first thing I do is I stand in front of the panel like this, and I'm just getting my lower half in the front. And I do try to incorporate dry brushing while I am doing my red light therapy. Stacking health habits is a really great way to get them done because it doesn't take up more time. When I'm standing facing my panel, I will do my arms. And I'm not an expert at dry brushing. All I do is what I remember from when I learned about it years ago, where I start at my extremities and I do little brushes and going towards my heart. Although I did watch a video recently, which I will link up in the cards, that was really, really informative. And she had a little bit different of a take on it, and I'm probably going to be changing the way I do it, or like the pattern of how I do it on my body based on what she said. This is a set of dry brushes that I got from Amazon. There's one that's more of a massage brush that's pretty stiff. And then this is a nice soft dry brush. And this set of two brushes was like less than $6. It was $5 and some change. So I stand for about 5 minutes facing the panel, and I do my dry brushing up my arms, going towards my heart. And then I turn around and stand in front of my panel like this. And that's when I do my legs. I'll just put my leg up on the bed and do my dry brushing all the way up my legs, both legs, of course. And so that takes about 5 minutes. So I'm 10 minutes in, and then that's when I go ahead and sit down. Another health habit I have been stacking in here is my vibration plate. I do have a video on the vibration plate I have, so I will link that if you're curious about the specific model. But what I like to do when I'm sitting facing away from the panel, I will sit with my calves up on the vibration plate, and I will turn it on and let it vibrate for about 5 minutes, another 5 minutes. So then we're 15 minutes in, and then I move my vibration plate a little bit closer, and I go ahead and I sit facing the red light panel and do the vibration plate for 10 minutes. Now, of course, I do put on some undergarments at this point because that would be gross to sit on the vibration plate without any clothes on. I turned off the big cob LEDs because it's mighty bright in my eyes. When I am sitting facing the panel, I do close my eyes. The panel does come with eye protection, and you can totally use that. I'm comfortable with just closing my eyes, but of course wouldn't recommend anybody else do that. Definitely check with your own eye doctor. So I just sit on my vibration plate and let it vibrate for 10 minutes. And that brings me to a total of 25 minutes. And I usually turn on my panel for a full 30 minutes. So that gives me a little bit of buffer time to stand up and get dressed because it feels so nice. It's like when it turns off, you're like, oh, the sun just turned off. And so I keep it on while I get dressed and get ready for the day. As far as distance from the panel, I mean, it really varies. When I'm standing up in front of it, I mean, I'm probably anywhere from 6 inches to a foot away from it. You know, when I'm sitting on the vibration plate, my face maybe is like 2 feet away from it, or 1.5 feet, something like that. I don't really worry too much about getting an exact distance. And of course, the way your body is shaped, there's parts of your body that's going to be a little bit farther, parts of your body that's going to be closer. That's just the way it is. So I haven't worried about that too much and played with that too much, but I'm typically in that 6 inches to a foot from the panel at any given time. So that is basically my red light therapy routine. And it's really funny with getting dressed while the lights are still on. I often don't know what color shirt I choose for the day, because I have like a whole bunch of different tank tops that are the same style but different colors. And when the red light is on, you really can't see the actual colors of things. So there will be days where I will put on a tank top, and then it'll be a few hours later where I look down and I'm like, oh, that's the color of the shirt I put on today, which is kind of funny. It does when the light turns off, when the red light turns off, everything looks blue. It's kind of hard to differentiate things. So that's kind of funny. I do want to make sure to mention that EMR Tech is having a flash sale right now on all of their devices. They have, smaller ones that are a fraction of the size of the panel I have, and then they have enormous ones that are like ridiculously big, and they're doing 30% off their entire selection. And so that only goes until March 10th, so only a couple more days left that you can take advantage of that. I know that these products are not cheap, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't dive into it until I was given one, as a gift from winning a contest. If I had known how powerful it was, I totally would have spent the money, but I do understand that it's really hard to spend that kind of money not knowing if it is going to actually work for you. With the results that I've gotten from it, the way I think about it is I probably could have bought this panel so many times over the last 3 years that I have been buying supplements and getting infusions and appointments and all the different things that I have tried to get my brain health and my energy back to the point where it is now. And so, I mean, hindsight is 2020, right? Like, obviously, I wish I would have known this 3 years ago and I could have saved myself the trouble. But I'm just so grateful that I have it now. And I did want to pass on that 30% coupon because that is probably their best deal. I think that's what they did around like the holidays and stuff. So it's one of their best coupons available. And you can get that until March 10th. If it is after March 10th that you're watching this, you can always use my coupon code to get 20% off. So that's still a pretty good deal. My coupon code is Indigo, and I will have the link and the info down in the description below. And I just want to mention real quick again that they do have smaller versions that are a little more accessible to people with budgets. So definitely check out their website and see the different things they have to offer. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you have any more questions down below about my routine or my red light experience. I'll probably be doing a Q&A video at some point answering all of your questions. See you in the next video.